The new Walking Dead by Daylight chapter pretty much broke the entire fucking game, and honestly, it's very obvious that behavior rushed this chapter. This chapter was not given as much care as it should have gotten, especially considering it's The Walking Dead, and coming out right after Tokyo Ghoul and FNAF. Yeah, we need to wrap this up, bro, I'm not gonna lie. One of the main things is everything in this game is now buggy as hell. Like, when you're loading into a game and the offering screen, there's just a random fucking pole just there. I don't really know how we messed that up. Apparently, it's like this asset back here or something. I don't know. Something about it is just buggy as hell, and I don't know how they messed that up really. But hey, it is what it is. Also, they fixed Kaneki's bug where if you're holding like left or back, it won't break your character anymore. But this character is still buggy as hell. Sometimes your hits that you deserve just don't happen. Sometimes you hit survivors through walls when you know that shouldn't be the case. And sometimes just the animation glitches like crazy. I know that Spirit has some animation glitches apparently. And one of my favorite killers to play that I can't even play no more, Houndmaster has multiple bugs where she just can't use the fucking dog. Like, you will hit somebody with the dog and nothing will happen. The dog will just despawn, or you try to use the dog and the dog despawns. Deathslinger also has some bugs where you hit somebody with your power with your gun and it just bounces back like you didn't even hit them. Also, I've been playing a lot of Legion recently. I noticed it a little bit, but I didn't really think about it too much. But there's also a bug where if you're playing Legion and you're using your power, you won't detect anybody with Killer Instinct. I thought that was me just messing up until I was playing on Midwich and I realized I wasn't getting any heartbeats. Like, that's how I know it's bugged out. Not to mention the most game-breaking bug in the game, you can't even start chase with a survivor. The only way that the entity will block a window from a survivor vaulting it too many times is if they vaulted too many times in chase. But there's a bug where the chase doesn't even start. No music, no nothing. So places like Shack are infinite if you're not playing like Xenomorph. And obviously that's very game breaking because a bunch of killers, mainly M1 killers, need Bloodlust. Like, it's a need in the game. And yeah, that is obviously the biggest bug. I don't really know how that was in the PTB and came out into the live game and with more bugs. Just another reason why Dead by Daylight is kind of disappointing right now, I'm not gonna lie. Also, for Clown, they made his pink bottles worse, but made his yellow bottles better, and that kind of made him even more brain dead than he was before. Like, he would put down a yellow bottle and it would instantly activate, and he could pretty much outplay you on any pallet in the game. It was kind of broken, and they were supposed to change it either by nerfing it or making it take longer to come back or something like that, and they still didn't do that. Like, I don't know how they said they were gonna change it from the PTB and they still haven't. It's kind of crazy, and I think it is a little lazy, I'm not gonna lie. They just made the character even more brain dead. And another thing I really want to talk about, instead of like taking their time to get all these bugs fixed and stuff like that, they decide to release another map. But the worst part about it is this map is literally just a different map with a shitty recolor, and the main building is literally like a jungle gym. Like, one jungle gym is the main building. Like, this is not a map. This is not a map. This map is terrible. We need to remove maps. We need to stop making these maps. Not only that, but maps are lazy. Like, you're telling me we got a new map taking however the fuck many gigabytes of storage just for the addition, the main building, to be one pallet gym. And the worst part about it, bro, I forgot we even had a FNAF map in this game, bro. I forgot we had FNAF. The most I played on that FNAF map was in the PTB. Like, other than the PTB, I've never played on that map. I've played that map maybe 3 times. Maybe. And even though some people, myself maybe a little bit, would say that map was kind of lazy, just the fact that they took Unknown's map and replaced the theater with a Five Nights at Freddy's thing, but it's full of Easter eggs, and it's obvious that they really cared about it. So even though the whole map wasn't like an indoor pizzeria, I think it's whatever. I still love the map. I haven't played that map once, and then the map we get after that map is a shitty map. Like, the map is so ass. Hold on, not to mention, we already have how many? 4, 8, 12, 24, 48. If I counted right, which I probably didn't, we have around 50 fucking 7 maps in this game, bro. We do not need 57 fucking maps. So what are we doing, behavior? Like, why do we have 3 Ormans, 4 different Yamaokas? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why do we have 5 of the same map? These maps, they all have different main buildings and stuff, but they're from the same place. Same thing with Coldwind. I don't think we need 5 fucking Coldwind maps, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Just for us to get a new map, and literally everything new about the map you can see in the photo. Like, you can't see the inside of the pizzeria for FNAF, but this is literally just the whole map. Like, why did we put this in the game? And yeah, these maps are just lazy. We have too many. So instead of releasing more lazy maps, why don't we just get rid of the ones that we don't like? Like, I know behavior put a lot of assets and effort into them, but there's no reason to really have them, bro. Like, if I play on Toba Landing or whatever it is, the Singularity map, one more fucking time, I'm gonna lose it. I think I noticed this a little bit by myself playing, but I don't really like pay too much attention to like voice lines or anything. But apparently voice lines for survivors and screams and killer powers, they're just bugged at the moment. I haven't haven't seen too many, especially as somebody who plays Pinhead a lot. I haven't had any bugs with his voice lines in specifically, like in particular. And last thing I want to talk about negativity. The last thing I want to talk about negatively is the new survivors, just how loud they are. Their screams are terrible. And what's her name? Michonne. Am I saying her name right? Michelle. I saw a TikTok of her being infected by plague, and oh my god, bro. If I find it, I'm gonna put it on screen. It is hilarious. It is laughably bad. And yeah, I think the release of this chapter isn't going really well. For the most part, I don't think it's going very well. It's just the only thing I want to say is the reason we have a PTB is because it's the public test beta. You test things out. If there's bugs, behavior looks at them and they're supposed to fix them. Things that aren't working right or working as intended or nobody likes usually gets reverted, gets changed, gets fixed. That's what a PTB is for. But literally everything wrong in the PTB made its way to the live servers and then some, and then we didn't fix bugs that we've been had on top of that, that's what's really bringing this chapter down and making this chapter bad. Like, what's the point in having a PTB if you're not gonna fix everything in the PTB? That's the point of the PTB. Like, Clown, why didn't he get changed? Houndmaster still hasn't been changed for months. The chase bug that was in the PTB made it to live. The one bug that could break the game that was in the PTB and everyone was aware of made it to live. How? Tell me how. And of course, all of this is in the same update where we buff the pig, bro. I just want to play pig sometimes, bro. And just all these bugs that aren't being fixed, all these bugs that were in the PTB that didn't get changed, these promises of things like Clown getting changed didn't happen after you said you would change it from the PTB. Like, you know what I mean? All of this is what's bringing this chapter down. We really need to slow down on releases. Maybe. I think behavior really needs to, because we can't have these bugs in the game for so long. Knight is still like the buggiest killer. He's been out for 2 years. What? I mean, I'm not complaining because Knight is boring to go against, and I don't really play Knight like that because I think he's kind of boring. So the less Knights, maybe the better, but come on, bro. And yeah, that's why this chapter is not going well and could go down as one of the worst in Dead by Daylight history. But the reason why it won't is because there are some good things in this chapter. The Pyramid Head add-on changes are amazing. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Nah, I'm fucking with you guys. Not everything is that bad. Pyramid Head's changes are amazing. I've been playing a lot of Pyramid Head lately, and his add-on changes are so nice. Especially, I love the undetectable one, and I have the one where I can keep the sword in the ground longer. And then when I use R rating perks, I just get free hits, bro. Like, this character is like much more fun now. The pig changes, obviously, I love the pig changes. Pig is one of my most played killers, so I'm glad that she's getting changed. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the new items are really, really cool and nice. Like all the changes to the keys, where even the brown key, you can see all of your teammates within 48 meters for 8 seconds. Like, that just makes the item more useful, that you can actually use it. Not to mention all the cool add-ons. And one thing I'm glad that they did is they retired add-ons, and now you only have 5 decent add-ons. Like, this is what I think, this is way more perfect than having all these unnecessary add-ons. Same thing going with maps. Now maps give you base kit windows of opportunity, which is fire. And again, they retired a bunch of add-ons, and now they only have 5 add-ons, and they're all useful. Like, I love this. It makes it much more simpler to use. Not only that, that's less offerings that you're forced to buy from the Blood Web. Now all we have to do is we got to do it for toolboxes, because there's no reason to have 11 add-ons on a toolbox when the only thing people are gonna bring is like this and this. Like, this is the only thing they're bringing. We gotta do the same thing for flashlights. Just literally combined all the add-ons to make them 5 add-ons, and then change the med kits, obviously, because we have 5, 10, 13 add-ons, and people only use like these, like this, or they only use like this. Also, another thing I want them to change is get rid of these fuck-ass offerings, bro. I will never need this. And yeah, other than a lot of bug fixes, like a lot of bug fixes, don't get me wrong, it's not going to change how the chapter is seen so far, because the release of the chapter is pretty terrible. I'm not gonna lie, I've been having more fun playing Survivor than Killer, even though I'm higher rank on Killer. The item changes are cool. Also, I forgot to talk about this. Spawn logic is broken, because you know how all survivors are supposed to spawn together? Tell me why one game, I'm so mad I didn't get a clip of it. One game, I brought Corrupt Intervention and all 3 survivors spawned on a gen that wasn't blocked. How does that even happen? And if it makes you guys believe me anymore, I was playing Legion and I ended up slugging them because they were getting toxic. So anyways, can we nerf Kaneki? And yeah, I wouldn't say this chapter is one of the worst because there's a lot of good changes that came with it, but the fact that we had a PTB to find bugs and then release the bugs on top of the bugs we already have is kind of crazy. Like, not fixing Knight and Houndmaster, I could get over that if you didn't introduce 40 new bugs to the game. And yeah, so far The Walking Dead is looking like a slight failure to Dead by Daylight. Like, as a licensed chapter and The Walking Dead, yeah, I think this might be a miss. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think though. How is this chapter treating you? I mean, I pretty much already know, but I still want to know anyways. And if you don't know what to say, just leave a comment saying anything. I need the engagement because we're on the road to 10,000 subs. Anyways, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you have a good day.